In this video, I'm going to show you how to add graphic styles to text in Photoshop, a few different ways of doing that. In the very first video, I'm going to show you how I made this MOSSY style text. So the first thing that you're going to do to start this project is go to File, New, and create a new document. We're going to click on Web. We're going to open all the presets and choose Web Small. And then I want you to choose transparent for the background and then type text effects 1. So you're going to go ahead and name your file up here and then press create. Alright, so this is the window we're going to build this in. I'm going to paste in the moss picture that I already had copied in my background. And now I'm going to choose a green color for the moss. And then I'm going to choose a background color that's a little bit lighter color green. You'll see why in a minute. All right, and now I'm going to type the word MOSSY. And I'm going to choose a font that's kind of bold so you can really see the texture in it. All right, I'm going to highlight it, go up here to the top, change it to 300. And you can change the size over in properties, the size in the properties panel too. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And you can change the color over there in properties. I'm going to make it a little lighter so it stands out. All right, I got the move tool and I'm going to center that in my document. Now you need to go to Window and choose the Styles panel. We're going to find a Mossy style. Now if you don't see the moss style in there, if you go to the top right of the Style panel and open Options, you can load the legacy styles and you might find it that way. Alright, so I'm going to open these and go to Natural, and there is the moss one right there, that green one. So you see when I click on that, it adds all those layer styles to my text. You can see when I turn it on and off, it added all these different layer styles to make it look kind of mossy. I'm going to click on the last drop shadow. I'm going to make it darker and make it a little bit bigger, so that way my text pops off the background a little bit better. Alright, now that's all you need to know for the test, but if you really want to make it look super mossy, if you make another layer and get the brush tool, then you're going to go to Window and open Brushes, and you're going to get this grass brush. If you don't see the grass brush, same thing. If you go to the top right of the brush panel and open Options, you can load the legacy styles, and then you'll find the grass brush in there. So I'll show you how to do that. I already have legacy added there, but if you want to, you click on that, Options, and load legacy brushes. It's just going to load an extra copy of it, but you'll see how to do it anyway. So okay, so you can see it added those other brushes. All right, and then I'm going to go to the very top one in General Brushes and scroll down until I find the grass one. It's kind of near the end. Alright, there it is. So I'm going to click on the grass brush and I'm going to make my brush smaller. And what it does, it paints grass and it kind of uses the colors that are the background and foreground color that you chose in the beginning. So that's why I chose a light green and a dark green so that my moss would have both of those colors and give it a little depth. So you're just going to brush over the text. You can do it kind of sloppy because it's just moss. Right, and just fill that in. This is a great brush to use too if you're doing something furry. If you pick like some browns or something, you can make something look furry. And just fill those in. Alright, in this second part, I'm going to show you how I made this wood texture show up in this word by using clipping masks. So that's what it'll look like when it's done. Basically, you just type your word and then you add these simple layer styles to your text. So you can go up to Layer and choose Layer Style. I used Bevel and Emboss was the first one that I used. You can use whatever settings you want, or you can freeze frame and look at these. So it's an emboss filter. And then I went and added a drop shadow. So I have a black shadow on Multiply. And basically you just turn those on and off under the words there so you can see what that looks like. And then in the second part I just pasted in another picture of wood and made it a clipping mask. So let me release that one. That's what it looks like when it's pasted on top. And you can choose any photo to paste on top. And if you put Create Clipping Mask over there on the Layers tab, or go up to Layers and choose Clipping Mask, whatever photo you have on top of the one below it will appear just in that layer. Alright, on this last one I'm going to show you how I made these neon letters. I airbrushed this little vignette and made like this glowy thing behind the letters, and I had a non-destructive layer adjustment. So I'm going to turn all that off for now. Start from the beginning, which was this brick wall. Then I added a layer adjustment here, and I put it on photo filter. And then you can come down here and choose any color that you want. It just tints your photo for you. All right, I'll leave it on that one for now. I'm going to throw away the first one that I did. All right, now we're going to type the word neon. I used Arial Rounded because it's going to look more like neon than other fonts that I had. So you see that it's up here on the character window, Arial Rounded. And then you'll want to select that. So go select Load Selection and say OK. Now I have my letters selected, and I'm going to hide that layer. I don't need that. I'm going to make a new layer and choose white and go to Edit, Stroke, and choose 2 pixels white and have it coming from the center. Alright, and now I'm going to press Control D or Select, Deselect, and then I'm going to add layer styles to that outline that I just made. So click on FX at the bottom or Layer, Layer Style, and I'm going to choose Stroke. So I'm going to give it 2 different strokes. I'm going to give it a light pink. Actually, I'm going to make it blue. I'll make this one a little different color than before. So make a light color, make it go on the outside, and make it about 3 points. Make sure it's on the position is outside, okay? And then click the plus to make another one, and go on that new one and make just a darker color. Make sure it's still bright though, because it is neon. And then make another one that's just a little bit wider, bigger size than the first stroke that you made. Alright, now I want to add a glow to it, but it's not in my menu. So if I go down to the bottom and I say Show All Effects, I can click Outer Glow, and I want to choose blue since I have blue neon. And I need to make the opacity heavier and the spread and size bigger so I can actually see that. Alright, that looks good, and say OK. Now I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm just going to brush in a glow just with the brush tool to make it have a brighter glow than what the effect does. So let me get my colors, and I'm going to choose a blue. And this is going to be the color that's like hitting the brick wall. Then I need a soft brush. Needs to be a big brush. And I'm just going to hit the back of the wall with that. And then lower the opacity. So now it gives a nice glow to the neon. Alright, and then the very last thing I did before was I added like a dark vignette. So I'm going to pull that layer at the top, and this time I'm going to get black. And just brush some black at the top and bottom. That way it just makes it look like the neon is really illuminating that one area only. Alright, and so these are the 3 different graphic styles you can try with text. I have some more in the lesson, but this is the only ones I'm going to show you a video of. I'm also going to change that brick wall to a bluer tint instead of the magenta.